Imagine being born into a world where the cars are super, the planes are private, and the homes are bigger than hotels. Now imagine being the only son of a billionaire real estate mogul who later became president of the United States. That's the reality of Barron Trump. In today's video, we're diving into the trillionaire lifestyle of Barron Trump, his wealth, his rumored fortune, and what life looks like inside America's most controversial dynasty. Barron Trump isn't just another rich kid. He's essentially America's hidden royal. Born into the Trump dynasty in 2006, his very first crib was inside Trump Tower, surrounded by floor-to-ceiling mirrors, marble floors, and ceilings painted with golden cherubs. Forget playgrounds. His world was designer furniture and Manhattan skyline views. From the start, Melania made sure Barron stood out. She dressed him in tailored outfits when most kids were still running around in sweatpants. She once admitted she treated him like a little Donald, letting him draw on the walls and encouraging creativity, but always with polish. Barron even had his own entire floor in Trump Tower, with a playroom bigger than most apartments in New York. Growing up, his daily life blurred the line between normal childhood and royalty. Security teams, armored SUVs, and Secret Service agents became part of his routine. Birthday parties didn't happen in backyards. They happened in ballrooms. Even school wasn't ordinary. Barron attended elite private schools with tuition fees that could buy a car every semester. What makes Barron stand out, though, is how rarely he's been seen. For years, he was shielded from media attention. While the world followed every move of his father and older siblings, Barron lived in near seclusion. That mix of wealth, power, and mystery has made people even more curious. Who exactly is Barron Trump? And what kind of life is he really living behind closed doors? When you hear Trump, you think gold towers, billion-dollar deals, and luxury that screams excess. That's the financial world Barron is inheriting. His father's fortune, estimated between $2.50 and $3 billion, comes from decades of building and branding. And Barron? He's positioned as the next chapter of that empire. The Trump Organization is more than real estate. It's a global brand. Think of skyscrapers like Trump Tower in Manhattan, hotels in Chicago, Las Vegas, and D.C., plus international projects stretching to Turkey, the Philippines, and Dubai. Each property carries the Trump name like a luxury badge, and Barron has grown up at the center of it. But the empire doesn't stop at buildings. Golf courses from Scotland to Florida, licensing deals with international developers, and even branded products, from steaks to ties, have generated streams of income. Barron may be young, but the structure of the family business means that one day he could hold the keys to it all. Some experts speculate that if the Trump brand were reimagined and expanded, say into tech, fashion, or digital platforms, it could easily skyrocket Barron's net worth into unprecedented territory. Add an inheritance, future investments, and the possibility of political fundraising networks, and suddenly the idea of Barron as a trillionaire doesn't seem so far-fetched. Money isn't just numbers on paper for Barron. It's his environment. The Trump fortune isn't just wealth. It's legacy, power, and machine designed to keep the Trump name at the top of global conversation. What does life look like when money is no object? For Barron Trump, luxury is an occasional treat. It's everyday life. His normal includes private jets, sprawling estates, and an entourage of security that follows him everywhere. Traveling isn't just about going from point A to point B. With access to Trump's private Boeing 757, nicknamed Trump Force One, Barron doesn't wait in TSA lines or sit in economy. The jet itself is worth $100 million, outfitted with leather seats, 24-karat gold seatbelt buckles, and bedrooms that feel like five-star suites. For short trips, helicopters are an option. For vacations, private motorcades sweep through traffic to deliver him in style. And then there are the homes. Trump Tower's golden penthouse looks more like a European palace than a New York apartment. Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach is essentially a resort with 126 rooms, pools, tennis courts, and its own beach. Add to that the Bedminster Golf Club in New Jersey, a 50,000-square-foot mansion in upstate New York, and countless other properties worldwide, and Barron's backyard stretches across continents. Cars are another part of the equation. While Barron wasn't old enough to drive for much of his youth, he grew up around Donald's garage collection, Rolls-Royces, Lamborghinis, and even armored vehicles built for presidential transport. Most kids dream about toy race cars. Barron grew up with a real thing parked outside his door. Luxury for Barron isn't about showing off. It's simply his reality, a trillionaire lifestyle built into the fabric of his childhood. For all the gold, jets, and mansions, Barron Trump has lived a surprisingly private life. Unlike his older siblings, Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric, he doesn't chase cameras or post his every move on social media. In fact, Barron has almost no public presence at all. Melania has been protective from day one. During the White House years, she made it clear that Barron wasn't part of the political theater. He rarely appeared at rallies or public events, only stepping out during major moments like the inauguration. While most teens post selfies and TikToks, Barron remains offline, shielded from the spotlight. Behind the scenes, though, he's said to be highly intelligent. Fluent in both English and Slovenian thanks to his mother, Barron reportedly also understands French. Teachers have described him as independent, creative, and athletic. Soccer has been a sport of choice, with him playing for elite teams in D.C. and Florida. At over 6 feet 7 inches tall, before even turning 18, he dominates on the field. But the mystery remains. What does Barron do with his time? What are his ambitions? Unlike his siblings, who were groomed for media and business from early ages, Barron has been allowed to grow up quietly. That silence only fuels speculation. Will he step into business, politics, or will he forge a completely different path away from the Trump name? The private side of Barron isn't just about hiding. It's about preparation. The world hasn't really met him yet. When you think of Barron Trump's future, you're not just thinking about wealth. You're thinking about power. Barron is more than an heir. He's a potential face of a next-generation Trump empire. His older siblings have already carved out their roles. Ivanka as a polished businesswoman, Donald Jr. as the outspoken political voice, Eric as a behind-the-scenes operator. But Barron, he's still a blank slate. That gives him both freedom and massive expectation. The Trump Organization could eventually be his playground. Imagine Barron overseeing luxury properties, expanding into new industries, or rebranding Trump into something entirely modern. With access to billions in assets and a recognizable global brand, he could steer the family fortune into tech startups, digital platforms, or even crypto ventures. Then there's politics. Having spent some of his teenage years in the White House, Barron understands the mechanics of power in a way most heirs never will. If he ever chose to run for office, he'd enter the stage with unmatched resources and instant name recognition. But the trillionaire possibility comes not just from inheritance, but from reinvention. If Barron leverages a Trump name with fresh ideas, appealing to a new generation while maintaining the brand's luxury roots, his empire could dwarf even his father's. The big question is, will Barron follow the Trump legacy or redefine it entirely? Either way, the foundation has been built. The next move is his. From gold-plated childhood toys to billion-dollar inheritances, Barron Trump's life is unlike anything most of us can imagine. Whether he stays in the background or steps into the spotlight, one thing is clear. The world is watching the rise of America's youngest billionaire heir. So, what do you think? Will Barron Trump embrace the trillionaire lifestyle or carve out a completely different path? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.